Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 14th, 2022 regular council meeting for the City of Dauphin. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that Council accepts the regular council meeting agenda as presented. Any questions or comments regarding that agenda? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo. Be it resolved that Council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting, that of the regular Council meeting for February 28th, 2022. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5, consent agenda, be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. Number 5A, action items. We have two proclamations today. The first one, whereas the people of Ukraine gained their independence from Soviet Russia back in 1991, building a pluralistic society based on democratic freedoms and the growth of a rich culture, and taking their rightful place on the world stage as a significant player in the global economy. And whereas on February 23rd, 2022, Russian forces launched an unprovoked invasion of Ukraine in violation of international law, creating a crisis on a global scale, the likes of which we have not seen since World War II. And whereas the ongoing assault on Ukraine has forced hundreds of thousands of civilians to flee their homeland to seek refuge in other nations. And whereas Dauphin is home to many Ukrainian families who have strengthened our diverse community with the food, traditions, dance, and music that make up their beautiful culture, making Dauphin home to Canada's National Ukrainian Festival. And now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim that we stand in solidarity with our Ukrainian friends and neighbors, offer our support in whatever way we can, hold the casualties of this violence close to our hearts, and recognize the sacrifices that are being made in the name of freedom and democracy in Ukraine. Slava Ukraina, glory be to Ukraine. The second proclamation is for World Poetry Day and National Poetry Month, whereas we recognize the cultural importance of language and literacy as the primary means of conveying knowledge, and whereas we agree that literature is defined as words raised to an art form, and whereas we acknowledge that poetry is amongst the oldest forms of literature and that it aims to express humankind's greatest hopes, fears, loves, and dreams, and whereas we understand that literacy is nurtured by the sharing and promotion of all forms of literature, and whereas United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization has declared observance of World Poetry Day on March 21st every year, and whereas we encourage our citizens to enrich themselves through partaking in all forms of culture, and we support the idea of promoting literature and specifically poetry in our community. And now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim March 21st as World Poetry Day and April 2022 as National Poetry Month. Other items on the consent agenda under 5A, number 3, outstanding water accounts that'll be added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following water accounts be added to taxes: 34 3rd Avenue Southeast, $335.41. The previous tenant did not pay their final utility bill, and that's the case for the other two. 917 Main Street South, $162.97, and 8 Ida Street, $169.73. All that totals $668.11, and that as recommended by the Director of Finance and the utility clerk. Under B, filing items, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Parkland Directors update for February of 2022 and the news bulletin for March 4th, 2022. Number 2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, 2022 Annual Conference and Trade Show, FCM Connect for March 1st, 8th, and 10th, 2022. Number 3, Manitoba News Release, Municipal Relations 2018 Statistical Information available online. Number 4, the Community Futures Parkland Newsletter for February of 2022. Number 5, Mountain View School Division News Digest for February 28th, 2022. My knuckle caught that. Number 6, Manitoba Municipal Relations 2022 Assessment Levy. Number 7, Department of Canadian Heritage Celebrate Canada Grant. And I missed Prairie Mountain Health. That was number 7, Prairie Mountain Health Plus newsletter for March 2022. Number 9, Intermountain Watershed District Conservation Program Levy. And number 10, Office of the Lieutenant Governor requests nominations for the Historical Award. And those all recommended by the Mayor and the City Manager. Any questions or comments there? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for the March 14th, 2022 regular Council meeting, and that of the City Manager. Take it away, City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been a couple weeks since our last meeting, and the snow is still here. I think it's supposed to be getting towards spring, but I will wait to see that. A few things to update. Again, with is to have legal representation from both sides. We've chosen a firm, and we will be meeting with them on March 16th virtually to go over the papers that we have. Also, Pine Creek and Ebb and Flow First Nations have asked to meet with Mayor and Council to reintroduce each other, as we've got some new elected officials in the group, and it's looking like that meeting is at the end of this week or the end of next week. Another item is our development plan review. City of Dauphin's current development plan was created in 2010 and adopted in 2012. Because of progression in our community, updated needs identified, and requirements in the Municipal Act, the city has embarked on a review and update of the plan. The city acquired a Building Sustainable Community grant for $15,000 towards the project. The project will be was to be started in 21, but due to staffing shortages, has been delayed until early 2022. Our current economic development manager put out requests for approval earlier this year. We received 5 proposals, and along with the Deputy City Manager, Director of Public Works and Operations, Economic Development Manager, and the Building Inspector, we've reviewed and scored the proposals. So we will be discussing those proposals at our next Strategic Planning and Priorities Committee meeting with Council. I continue to work on the terms of reference and information page policy. And I've learned a lot about the City of Dauphin's committees, their structure, purpose, and membership. And thanks to Council for the detailed review of the first 2/3 of the policy. And I look forward to completing your input later in our meeting. And in terms of human resources, our negotiations with QP 3240 are complete, and an agreement has been reached. Unfortunately, we don't have the paper copy of the agreement yet, but when we do, we'll have that ratified through council. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments regarding the city manager's report? Councillor Juba.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank our city manager for all the hard work, especially there's been a lot of things going on, but the contract negotiations were very difficult, and I know the rest of the committee and yourself worked very tirelessly to get that done. So just want to let the community know that a lot of hard work goes into ratification and getting the contract ready for it.
Yeah, certainly. And one of the things that we really wanted to do was meet in person. And that delayed some of our discussions earlier, I guess, in 2021. So I appreciated QP's and our Employee Relations Committee consideration for that and delaying the start of it. But yeah, it does take work, doesn't it? Thanks.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Stakilo.
Thanks very much. More of just a comment than a question. You referenced the Municipal Act for the Development Plan. It's actually the Planning Act requirement. So just wanted to make note of that. That's all. Just something I kind of picked up along the way.
Yeah, well, I thank you very much.
No problem.
Any other questions or comments? We'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that the finance accounts, having been examined by council, be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals number 29379 to 29460. That's 82 checks totaling $216,165.79. No voided checks in the current range, no voided checks in past ranges. There were 5 electronic payments for February 2022, and those totaled $160,678.88. Any questions or comments regarding that? No, seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. On to the fun stuff now. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the unaudited financial statements before PSAB adjustments for the period ending December 31st, 2021. That includes the general fund highlights of variances, general fund balance sheet, and general fund income statement. Number 3 is the utility fund highlights of variances, and number 4, the utility fund balance sheet and utility fund income statement. Basically, which gets us down to a general surplus of about $697,000 and a utility surplus of $143,000. And I'm going to throw it now to our Director of Finance, Scott Carr, who's going to make just a few more comments on why we have a surplus this year. So, Mr. Carr, take her away.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like many other organizations, we faced a labor shortage in 2021. Unfortunately, this resulted in some work not being completed as budgeted and contributed to our $697,000 surplus in our general fund. Other items contributing to the surplus were higher than expected taxes on new construction and higher than expected revenue at the landfill. Most of the surplus is being transferred to reserve for future spending. We are going to use $33,000 of the surplus to cover the overage on snow clearing that we had. The utility fund had a $143,000 surplus due to unexpected savings on our water and sewer main capital replacements. The only area we were over budget was the purchase of oxygen at our water treatment plant, as we planned to be using our new oxygen generator in June 2021, but this project was delayed and will be completed in 2022. The full surplus of $143,237 will be transferred to reserve for future use. So after the 2021 surplus transfers, our reserves ended the year $25,000 less than the start of the year. This indicates our taxation levels in 2021 were sustainable. With inflation nearing 5%, we are already seeing much higher costs in 2022. But with over $11 million in reserves, we are hopeful we can reduce the impact of this inflation by using reserves. So it was a good year. 2022 has been quite a bit more expensive so far, though. So we'll see what the next 9 months brings.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments regarding that, Councillor Bellemare?
Okay, first of all, you had mentioned that you used 33,000 of that for snow, and I know we've used a lot of our 2022 snow budget to clear what we have. So we sort of paid for what we've done so far, and like where are we at with our total snow clearing budget for 2022?
So year-to-date snow clearing has been very expensive. We've basically spent more this year already than we did all of last year. The $33,000 overage on snow clearing actually refers to up to December 21st, or sorry, December 2021. So we are going to have to budget more for snow clearing. However, about 10 years ago, Council instituted a snow and ice reserve, which helps smooth that out. So if we are over on snow clearing, we can borrow from that reserve. We chose not to do that in 2021 because we had a general fund surplus. But if we had to, we could borrow from that as well. But yes, between water main breaks and snow clearing, 2022 and the price of fuel, 2022 is going to be a tight year, and we're thankful we have good reserves to use to pay for some of that stuff.
And just one more question in your report, and by the way, we should mention to our viewing audience that this is an 8-page long report. So there's lots of information section by section about what's happening financially. So thank you for that, Mr. Carr. You mentioned the dozer at the landfill and how that equipment wasn't available for a while and what that means for the landfill. So where are we at with replacing or fixing the dozer?
So the dozer was actually under warranty. So that was good. However, during the time it was under repair, we had to use a loader out there, which doesn't have the same compaction as the dozer. It's cheaper to operate, but if you're looking at preserving the life of the landfill and trying to extend that useful life as long as possible, using a loader is not ideal. So the compaction just wasn't there. But you know, with the dozers up and running again, so we should be okay now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Councillor Juba.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Scott, thank you for all your hard work. You've certainly done a lot of work getting all these financial reports ready, and I know the budget deliberations are coming up soon, so I know you've been hard at work fine-tuning, so thank you for that. And my question is, when the snow melts, there's a lot of street cleaning that has to be done to get all the residue off the streets. Is that included in the snow clearing budget, or is that a regular maintenance cost to the city?
And that would fall under street sweeping. So boulevard sweeping and street sweeping would be different departments. However, the damage to curbs and other areas does fall under snow clearing. So, yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you again for all your hard work, Scott.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I will call those. All in favor of that? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the reserve report for the period ending December 31st, 2021. Any comments or questions there? None. I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the analysis of the 2021 reserve balance. Questions or comments there? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the memorandum from the Director of Finance dated February 23rd, 2022, regarding the City of Dauphin's 2021 financial analysis, unaudited, of course, before PSAB adjustments for the period ending December 31st, 2021. Again, any questions or comments? None. Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. And moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the 2021 Councillor Compensation Report as required by the Public Sector Compensation Disclosure Act. Any questions or comments there? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services report for the March 14th, 2022 regular council meeting, that of bylaw enforcement for February of this year. Any comments or questions regarding that report? And seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services report for the March 14th regular council meeting, and that of the animal control officer for February. Any questions or comments there?
Just a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Councillor Bellemare.
I saw in the finances that he bought a new cage for his work. So that's just like a cage you would use to capture an animal and yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll call the questions and comments. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the minutes and reports from the following committees. Number one, Fort Dauphin Museum. They had their regular board meeting on February 2nd, 2022. The manager's report for the Fort Dauphin Museum, January 18th to March 2nd, 2022. Profit and loss, budget versus actual, January 1st to March 2nd of this year. And the balance sheet previous year comparison as of March 2nd, 2022 for the Fort Dauphin Museum. Number two, Parkland Regional Library's annual report for 2021 and the 2021 audited financial statements. Number three, Dauphin Public Library annual report. Was that? Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking that's a copy paste, but I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Okay, going back. Number three, Dauphin Public Library annual report for 2021 and the 2021 audited financial statements there. And lastly, number four, the Dauphin and District Handy Van Association regular board meeting, which happened on March 1st, 2022. Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Councillor Juba.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say that lately I've had some time on my hands, so I was down at the local library, and it really felt good to be in the library. Like, it's been a long time. So what I suggest to the community is go down, enjoy the library. The library has a lot of information. There's lots of books there, and every time I go in there, I think of former Mayor Al Dauphin. I can't help but think of all the hard work that Al has done over the years to make the library a success, especially with the Parkland library. And now that Councillor Bellemare is there, I just want to give a shout out because the library is in good hands. So go down and enjoy the attributes of the library.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call them. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Bellemare, whereas at their regular meeting of December 13th, 2021, Council approved the 2022 regular Council meeting schedule as per Resolution 2021-675. And whereas the approved date for the first regular Council meeting in May needs to be changed from May 16th, 2022 to May 9th, in order to meet the province's May 15th, 2022 deadline for approval of the 2022 financial plan. Be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated March 11th, 2022 from the Deputy City Manager on behalf of Mayor Laughlin recommending that council reconsiders Resolution 2021-675 to change this date as per Procedures Bylaw 01/2019, Clause 8.3, which specifies that council may, by resolution, vary the date and time of a regular council meeting as circumstances may require. And further be it resolved that council approves a notice of motion to reopen Resolution 2021-675 for review at the regular council meeting of March 28th, 2022. Any questions or comments regarding that change? I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Whereas the City of Dauphin originally entered into an annual contract with AllNet Municipal Solutions, now Munisite Limited, on March 1st, 2019 to provide AllNet Connect services and emergency alert system. And whereas the current annual term for the agreement expired on March 1st, 2022, be it resolved that council accepts as information a revised AllNet Connect software license agreement dated March 3rd, 2022 for an additional one-year term ending on February 28th, 2023 at a cost of $4,990 plus applicable taxes. Further be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated March 14th, 2022 from the Information and Communications Technology Manager outlining the city's relationship with Munisite Limited to provide the AllNet Connect emergency communication system and recommending that the annual contract be renewed. And further be it resolved that council agrees with the ICT manager's recommendation and authorizes the annual AllNet Connect software agreement with Munisite Limited to be signed and sealed by the city manager on behalf of the City of Dauphin. Any questions or comments regarding that? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Whereas the City of Dauphin's engineering department advertised a request for proposals for the purchase of a new survey equipment, which closed on February 18th, 2022. Be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated March 7th, 2022 from the Director of Public Works and Operations advising that 3 bid packages for the required survey equipment were received and recommending that the RFP be rewarded to Lewis Instruments of Winnipeg, Manitoba for the following equipment totaling $77,215 plus applicable taxes. Mike, what's the name of the items? I don't want to mispronounce them. Leica? Leica. Okay. Yeah. So the items. Okay, I'll go through them all. A Leica GS18T RTK GNSS rover. And Mike, stop me if I get these wrong. A Leica TS13 R500 robotic total station. A Leica CS20 field controller. A Leica GR30 permanent base station. Leica DIS-TOX 4 measuring device. A Leica Infinity software. Perpetual, not annual license, cases, poles, clamps, and all other required accessories. And further be it resolved that council agrees with the recommendation from the Director of Public Works and Operations and authorizes the RFP for the purchase of the above noted survey equipment to be awarded to Lewis Instruments for a cost of $77,215 plus applicable taxes, with the funds to be drawn from the machinery and equipment reserve. Any questions or comments regarding those? Councillor Bellemare, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just checking that because it says the software is a perpetual, not an annual license. But with that last motion that we just passed, that was an annual kind of fee that we're paying. So updates will be included with this licensing?
It sounds like the updates will be included, but we won't have to pay for them every year.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's a one-time fee for the license, which the Leica software was significantly less, like I'm talking 15% of the cost of competitors' perpetual license software. So we're very happy with this product and we expect delivery to take place with an installation within the next 30 days or so after approval. So we we're impressed with our new client, or I guess we're the new client of Lewis Instruments. So.
Okay, thank you. Because I know for a lot of stuff we buy, there's annual costs for the software. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's rare nowadays where it's just a one buy. Normally you have to pay every year. Any other questions or comments regarding that stuff? And seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo, whereas Statistics Canada recently changed the format for their monthly reporting for building and demolition permits to modernize reporting and address gaps in data. Be it resolved that Council accepts this information, a memorandum dated March 1st, 2022 from the building inspector advising that as part of a change in reporting format, Statistics Canada will no longer be providing the monthly building and demolition permits report. However, all relevant statistical information will still be included in the building statistics monthly report and the commercial building permits issued report. Any questions or comments there? We'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare, whereas on February 10th, 2021, the Prime Minister, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, and Minister of Environment and Climate Change announced $5.9 billion in new funding for public transit and active transportation over 5 years, beginning in 2021-2022, with a permanent annual envelope of $3 billion ongoing beginning in 2026-27. And whereas this federal funding includes the creation of an active transportation fund, a $400 million 5-year investment to fund projects that expand and enhance active transportation networks in communities across the country and support Canada's national active transportation strategy. And whereas active transportation refers to the movement of people or goods powered by human activity, including walking, cycling, and the use of human-powered or hybrid mobility aids such as wheelchairs, scooters, e-bikes, rollerblades, snowshoes, and cross-country skis. And whereas the City of Dauphin is committed to promoting active transportation in our community through the creation of a series of protected bike routes, be it resolved that Council accepts this information, correspondence dated March 10th, 2022, from the Director of Public Works and Operations requesting a letter supporting the City's application to the Federal Active Transportation Fund for funding to construct a new active transportation bridge and West End Trail extension. And further be it resolved that Council reaffirms its commitment to climate action measures, including the enhancement of active transportation opportunities in Dauphin, and authorizes a letter supporting the city's application to the Active Transportation Fund to make this project possible. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the questions and comments. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated February 24th, 2022 from Allison Moss, Director of the Parkland Regional Library, outlining the library's 2022 budget estimates as approved by the Library Board of Trustees. And further be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated February 24th, 2022 from Ms. Moss, requesting a 2022 appropriation of $18,305 quarterly. And further be it resolved that Council forwards this financial request to the 2022 budget deliberations. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated February 24th, 2022 from Allison Moss, Director of the Dauphin Public Library, outlining the library's 2022 budget estimates as approved by the Library Board of Trustees. And further be it resolved, the council accepts this information correspondence dated February 24th, 2022 from Ms. Moss, this time requesting a 2022 appropriation of $16,366.25 quarterly. Further be it resolved, the council forwards this financial request as well to the 2022 budget deliberations. Any comments or questions there? Seeing none, I'll call questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that bylaw 01/2022, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to amend the zoning bylaw 04/2015 regulating the use and development of land, be now read a first time. Questions or comments there? Go ahead, Councillor Bellemare.
Okay, just looking at the map, is this lot like a double wide lot and they want to put 2 buildings on it, each with 3?
I don't know, Mike, if you have that up, I'll take a look too.
No, okay. So I was talking lot sizes with someone yesterday and it appears that we have like about, full size lots and half size lots. And then we have kind of some variations within different parts of the town, right? Like
Yeah, this one does seem to appear to be like a double lot.
a double lot,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and we'll get more information, of course. So yeah, I was just checking.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't.
There will be a lot more
Yeah.
information included when it goes to the public hearing.
For sure. Nothing else to add? Anyone?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Eilers.
On the sheet, it says that there will be construction of 2 2,158 square feet, single-story, threeplex units on a single zoning site. It says right in their application.
Yeah, but it says on a single site, but when you look at it on the map, that lot looks wider, and I was just wondering if it was wider. I was trying to envision fitting 6 living spaces on a single lot, so.
Yeah, so it is like two lots that are on one title.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved, the council accepts this information. The invitations listed below under A, invitations, and number 1, Association of Manitoba Municipalities Cities Caucus meeting on April 20th, 2022, and number 2, Mountain View School Division's Community Reconciliation Circles, May 11th, 2022, May 25th, June 8th, and June 22nd, 2022 as well. And under B, community events, there are no community events lately. And that moves us into privileges. And we'll start to my right, Councillor Bellemare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council work. On March 1st, I attended the DIWCC meeting, and we were developing mission and vision statements. And that's the Dauphin and Area Welcoming Committee. And also on the same day, the WAC had a board meeting, and check out their Facebook page because there are many events, particularly musical ones, that are being held at the WAC again. So things are just happening there and people are gathering there again. On March 3rd and 10th, I attended a virtual climate leadership training through the Federal Canadian Municipalities Group. And I just completed the assignment that I had to do in order to get my certificate. I felt like I was back in university, but I learned a great deal about low carbon resilience and how this model can help in the future. And our council will be talking about that down the road. I attended both rallies at City Hall in support of Ukraine, and so a big thank you to the 2 Ukrainian churches and to Alia Stefania, Alison Sametz and their crew for providing these opportunities for people to gather and support Ukraine. And on March 12th, along with my council colleagues, I got my picture taken with the Grey Cup here. And so thank you to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for making Dauphin their first stop on their rural Manitoba tour. And apparently the mascot Boomer was born in Dauphin. So yet another claim to fame for our community. And tomorrow in the Dauphin Herald, there's the big market blitz that the Herald does. And there is information about Dauphin's newest recreation opportunity, a 4-season toboggan run. And stay tuned for a groundbreaking ceremony that's happening in May. And also, a Ukrainian Family Trust Fund has been set up to assist Ukrainian families with settling in our area. And you can donate at Fusion, or you can mail a check to Box 658, and you can get a charitable receipt if you donate. So thank you to those organizing and contributing. Don Tarrant made a huge donation of $25,000, and he's issued the challenge to groups and individuals to get involved with that. So your leadership is appreciated, and people like myself are looking for ways to help, and you've provided an important local initiative. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Juba.
Of course, I was here February 28th. I attended the regular City Council meeting here at City Hall on March the 1st. I attended Dauphin and District Handy Van Committee meeting. On the March the 8th, I was not able to attend the Parkland Chamber of Commerce luncheon at the Watson Arts Center, but by all accounts, it was a very successful event. And everybody that was at that event was just pleased to actually have an event in person. So that plus the events of the day were really, it was a really great celebration. On March the 3rd, I was invited to a luncheon by the Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal, discussions on how they could support efficient programs and how we can work together to support each other. I had a chance to tour and get a better understanding of what goes on at Under One Roof. The luncheon was held at the Under One Roof facility. I want to thank the Watson Arts Center for shining blue and yellow lights in show of solidarity with the people of Ukraine since Russian troops invaded the sovereign country a couple of weeks ago. I want to thank Christian Lockman for putting on an excellent picture that as soon as I saw it, I shared it, and it just really was a clear sign of support. So I just want to congratulate Assiniboine College for their accreditation for its Parkland business programs. So the Assiniboine Community College is stepping up with more educational opportunities. Upcoming event, well, okay, that's okay, that's already passed, sorry. On March the 9th, I was invited to attend a meeting of the Parkland Practitioners Committee via Zoom. It was a very interesting meeting. I learned a lot. There were a lot of stakeholders that were on that Zoom call that it really enlightened me on what's going on, not only in around Dauphin, but around the Parkland. And thank you to Martine and Charlene Gulak for allowing me the opportunity to be part of that. And as mentioned by Councillor Bellemare, I want to thank Don Tarrant from Right Side Equipment for the first $25,000 donation towards the Parkland Ukrainian Family Trust Fund, and also want to make note that the Dauphin Kings made a presentation at the Ukrainian night for $5,000. So yes, the challenge is on. We raise lots of funds for that worthy cause. On March the 10th, I volunteered at the Ukrainian Festival Office for cutting memorial ribbons. The sale of the ribbons were proceeds to go to the Ukraine as well. And they're just, as Councillor Bellemare had mentioned, there are many opportunities coming up to support Ukraine. So do what you can. Later on that evening, I attended the Parkland Chamber of Commerce Celebration Night. I want to congratulate all the winners of this year's award. Jim Steiner received the Legacy Award for his success and contributions to the community over the years. I just want to say it was a great honor to be nominated for our Habitat for Humanity group. It was a great honor. It really was. It really showed that Habitat for Humanity group has, their hard work is being recognized in the community, and I'm very proud of the committee that work alongside to raise those funds, and very soon we'll be moving, as soon as the snow melts, we'll be making an announcement finally at the lot for the next phase of that project. So, and I just want to, I attended the annual general meeting after and there's a new slate of officers, and thank you to all the people that served last year on the chamber board, and the new chamber board is now in place. March the 12th, I attended the Ukrainian night at Credit Union Place, Fusion. I just want to thank all the game sponsors. I believe there was a number of them. They're listed on the Ukrainian Festival's website. So take a peek at all of the people that worked together to put that event together. I think the last time I was actually at a hockey game was 2 years ago at the last Ukrainian night, and it was really great to be in the facility, and lots of people were there, and a great night. And I have a couple of condolences. I just want to pass a condolence to the Fryite and Brown family on the passing of Kathy Fryite. She passed away this last week. And today I was notified by my fellow barbershoppers that a longtime barbershopper and a business person in Dauphin, Paul Ellard, has passed away. So condolences to the Ellard family. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Councillor Eilers.
Thank you. February 28th, I attended the City Council meeting. On March 1st, I attended an Intermountain Watershed District Sub-District meeting. And on March 8th, I too attended the Chamber Appreciation Luncheon. And there was awards to businesses of longstanding in the community. And thank you to all the businesses from 5 to 55 years. And it's nice to see that the WAC is having events again. March 10th, I attended the Parkland Chamber of Commerce Celebration Nights, and thank you to the Chamber for putting on such a great event. And as mentioned previously, the Legacy Award was to Jim Steiner for his amazing work that he's done in the community over the years, including the restoration of the CN station. Outstanding business was to Embroidery by Design and Community Appreciation Individual to Charlene Gulak. She does a lot in all the communities surrounding Dauphin. Community Appreciation Group was under one roof, and they've been amazing what they have done during the pandemic. And of course, our Youth Entrepreneur of the Year was Kyle Zerba with the Fireline Welding. Wish him well in his new business. And Business Person of the Year was Carissa Karuk Ganser from The Hub. On March 10th, the Ag Society held a 2022 Farm Outlook for ag producers to increase their knowledge of many agriculture topics. It was very well attended, over 80 participants, and the Ron Brook Memorial Award was presented to the Dauphin Ag Heritage Society for their hard work and dedication to preserving historical farm equipment and showcasing the many early inventions. Again, it's really neat to see the comparison of what we have now. And just as a point of interest, I always, when I was small, I wanted to go bigger than my tractor's tire. And now I'm 6 feet and I'm still not the height of the tractor tire. So, and March 11th, I volunteered at the A1 Rural Hockey Tournament. It was a great tournament, and congratulations to all those who participated. They put on a great show. March 12th, I too was for the Grey Cup photo op. I attended the Ukrainian night at the Dauphin Kings hockey game. It was very entertaining with the music, pierogies, sausage strolls, and many other entertaining events to make it a real fun night. And I also want to thank Don Tarrant for his insight with Right Side in Dauphin initiating Ukrainian Family Fund with a donation of $25,000 to help. And this is to help bring families to the Parkland from Ukraine. And just as a note, donations can be made at any Fusion Credit Union towards this. And it's the The fund will go towards travel, moving, housing, and living expenses in relocating. And condolences to Kathy Freiheit's family. She will be missed. She was did a lot of work with different community members, especially the Dauphin Community Foundation. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Stikilo.
Thanks very much, Mr. Mayor. For myself, February 28th, regular council meeting. On March 4th, I was able to bring greetings to the U11A provincials at Credit Union Place. It was just great to see that provincials are now being able to be hosted again, and Dauphin was fortunate enough to host 2 events this year, 2 provincials. It's always great to be able to show off all of the facilities that we have and the amenities in the city. And doing that through hockey provincials is a great way for sure. In reference to the U11 team, that team worked really hard that weekend, but had to settle as consolation winners. This past weekend, I know the U13s did very well. They battled really hard in a double overtime game, but came up just short. So just fantastic to see all the hockey events going on. In addition to provincials, the Kings are doing well. The U18 Rangers are doing very well, and it's nice to be able to have that again for sure. Kudos to the planners for Ukrainian Night for the Kings. That was a great event. It's nice to see that back as well, and to come off with a win for the Kings. That's fantastic. For some of the community events around town, I just want to give a big congratulations to all the winners, as well as the nominees for this year's Parkland Chamber of Commerce Awards. I know it's been mentioned, but Jim Steiner and getting the Legacy Business Award, fantastic. Embroidery by Design, Charlene Gulak, Under One Roof, Kyle Zerba, and Carissa Karuk-Ganzer. Well done. Just a big congratulations on that. I too had on my list of things that's been mentioned already. It's great to see events back at the Watson Arts Center as well, and I encourage anyone that has that urge and desire to get out and attend events, check their website or their social media platforms to see what's coming up for that. For myself too, I just want to offer condolences to the Kathy Freiheit family. I got to know Kathy just shortly for some of her community involvement, but in reading her obituary last week, just amazing the amount of stuff she did, and community leader. So it's unfortunate situation. So my condolences to the family as well. And that ends my report. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Our youth council member, Catherine Kowalczyk, what do you got for us today?
Really not too much. I traveled to Winnipeg just this past weekend for volleyball, and I've just been trying to keep up with school. We've had a lot of bus days, so definitely backtracks a lot of stuff we were doing. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I feel like I've been learning a lot since January, feels like it's flown by since when I first came. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thanks. It's good to have a youth member back on council for sure. All right, for myself, February 28th, I attended the regular council meeting here at City Hall. On March 2nd, I took part in the Stand With Ukraine event at City Hall. Just again, want to thank the organizers for that. A very well attended event. The next day on the 3rd, attended the Parkland regional meeting in Gilbert Plains. Lots of good discussion on a number of items at that event at the hall. March 8th, the Parkland Chamber Awards lunch at the Watson Arts Center. I was able to attend that as well. And as Councillor Eiler said, congratulations to all the businesses that were recognized from 5 years to 55 years. Just great to see that kind of support in our community for the Parkland Chamber. March 10th, that was the Parkland Chamber Awards night. I was there as well at the Country Fest Community Cinema. Congratulations again to all the winners, of course, including Jim Steiner. He took home that Legacy Award. Didn't know anything about it. Was completely blown away when he found out in the theater, which was really special to see, and it was cool to watch Carla Wolfenden film him too while he was up there talking, and she was tearing up a little. So that was awesome. And also just want to mention, good job, Stephen Chakota and the chamber as a whole for hosting that event. On March 11th, a week after Deputy Mayor Stikilo spoke at the U11 provincials, I spoke at the U13 tournament here in Dauphin, and I won't go on as much as he did, but I just reiterate exactly what he said. It's just great to have this stuff back. Provincials are great for hotels, restaurants in the community, just the general economy in Dauphin. And I just want to as well congratulate the parents and the volunteers on a job well done hosting that tournament. March 12th, the next day, I too attended the Dauphin Kings Ukrainian Night. Congratulations to Canada's National Ukrainian Festival on organizing that and sponsoring that, and the Kings obviously for winning the game. And in case you missed it the night before, the hockey team actually announced that they're debt-free now. They had been, I think, $275,000 in debt about, let's say, 8 years ago. So a big accomplishment. Two people that I think really need to be recognized for that are Gary Sidor and Ray Seversko. They are key pieces in the Dauphin Kings Ag Project. And the Ag Project, from what I understand this year, they rent the land off the city just north of town. They've done that for, I think they're in year 4 now, but they also had another section of land given to them. So it was a really good year for their Ag Project. And again, Ray Seversko, Gary Sidor, and all the people involved on the Kings Ag Project, congratulations on a job well done there. And finally, I too just want to send my condolences to the family of Kathy Freiheit as well. With that being said, moved by Deputy Mayor Stikilo, seconded by Councillor Juba, be it resolved that the council meeting be recessed right at 6 o'clock. Thank you.